GTB TV is this week reporting from Las Vegas, where the UPnP Forum is holding its first meeting of the year. UPnP, formed in 1999 and comprising nearly 1,000 industry-leading organisations across the world, has played a key role in device-to-device interoperability and improved home networking. As convergence continues to gather pace and more devices are added to networks, we've been talking to some of the senior executives of the forum about the challenges that lie ahead. Alan, what are some of the main issues in home networking at the moment?
The problem is that we've seen a large growth in connected devices inside the home and outside the home, and so people have all sorts of devices today that are connected. Mobiles, TVs, but also smart grid elements, health, home automation elements. And so there's this kind of proliferation of devices around the home. But the problem that we're seeing is a major issue is that those devices fall into islands. So you end up with lots of the fitness devices working together, and with, say, mobile, you see the health, so the smart grid working with the smart grid devices, and the AV devices working with AV devices. So the kind of islands of connectivity rather than a complete smart home, which is, of course, what we really want. And so that's a big issue in the industry right now.
But where do you think the industry is actually going at the moment?
So I think, people are moving forward. There's a lot of deal with cloud and elements like that, so that's definitely a big progression that's moving forward. Excuse me. We see a lot of people working on an app plus device model. So you see people having devices they buy in the home, but you must get an app that works with that device. And so that kind of provides you kind of a little bit of a lock-in from the manufacturer. You buy a particular manufacturer's box or widget, and you must use their app. And so the problem is that the communication between those boxes is typically very proprietary, running through the cloud, and so that restricts you. If you want to use somebody else's app to control the product you've purchased, you're basically locked in and you can't do that. And so we really need standards to be able to deal with that communication through the cloud between the devices and the phones and devices that use it.
And how can we control that? We know that proprietary can get a dangerous situation. What's the answer to it?
So what we think the answer is UPnP. UPnP's done a lot of work in this area, bridging those islands together. So we have had standards for many years on home networking and home automation. So bridging, for example, the IP networks you have today with the home automation networks like Zigbee and Z-Waves and Longworks and KNX, etc. And we're also doing work on the same thing on smart grids and on the e-health ecosystem. So we think that'll help bring it together. And then we have an initiative that takes all of that work, that's great work already, and builds on top of that to add things like IPv6. So the IPv6 is mandatory. It's a growing element in the kind of whole Internet of Things that's very popular these days, as run out of IP addresses, and also, of course, cloud communication. So one of the nice things we've discovered is that UPnP is based on many of the same technologies that the cloud uses today, IP and HTTP, etc. So UPnP Plus takes all those things and then builds cloud standards on top of that, so that you can communicate between your devices whether you're inside the home or outside the home.
So cloud is a whole new major working area for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's such a lot of opportunities in these connected devices in the future, particularly with IP Connect Everything as the basis of UPnP standards as well as of the cloud. We think there's a whole wealth of opportunities, not to define the underlying networking, but actually define the profiles, the languages that the devices speak to each other, which is something that most standards bodies don't cover. So we define the languages with AV devices will talk to each other, health devices will talk to each other, and that kind of higher level standardization is a missing piece of the ecosystem right now.
Okay, Alan, well, thanks for bringing us up to date.
No problem, thank you.